What's up, guys? We're going to do another episode of Flippin Ain't Easy. In today's episode, we're going to go over a NES that we just purchased from a yard sale and kind of an in and out of what we plan to do with this and how we're going to move forward. We'll do it just like we did last time, where we will post the items on eBay, see how much they sell for, and then go from there. So to take a step back and explain how we got to this point, we went to a yard sale last weekend and there was no games whatsoever at the actual yard sale, but according to our BitHead 1000 practical guide to garage sales, we went ahead and asked the question to the owners of the yard sale, do you have any old video game systems or games that we could take a look at? And it's very rare that you're actually going to get someone to say yes, but in this particular case, they did. They said, in the basement we've got a NES console with the box, a couple of games. We can bring that up, you can take a look at it, and we've also got some PlayStation 2 and Xbox stuff. Now, I did buy some Xbox 360 games for us to keep that we can use in our Xbox One console. However, for this, the plan is, and I'll show you in a minute when we actually look at the Nintendo itself, you know, the box, although it's in decent shape, they've got tape right down the middle of it. The console itself is in pretty good shape. So a couple of things we're going to try to do here. Our console works good, but aesthetically, you know, we went through, we restored it, we had to do a lot of work to it, and it's still not as good as what this one is, and you'll see in a minute. This one just needs a little bit of cleaning, and it's going to be pretty good shape. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to do two things. One is we're going to try to take this tape off. Now, this may be impossible to do without damaging the box, but the box really isn't worth much of anything right now with the tape on there. So we're going to try to heat up the tape and peel it back without damaging the cardboard. I don't know if we're going to have any luck. I've done that before whenever there's some type of an adhesive on plastic and it's worked good. I'm just not real sure about this cardboard. So we'll try it. If it damages the box, then oh well, we can still sell it as is and whoever can deal with the box. I mean, it's not going to really be worth much, but it ain't worth a whole lot right now with the tape on there anyway. So this is the box we got. Then we're going to come over and take a look at the console itself and the two games. So it came with Mario Brothers game. Now this is a 3-pin game, so it's not worth as much as the 5-pin, but it's in really good shape. So, you know, maybe you ought to get a little bit of money out of this. We also got the Tetris, and it's also pretty good shape. So again, these ain't worth a lot of money, but maybe we can get a little bit. The foam itself, unfortunately, has the end ripped. I don't know how this happened, but anyway, somebody ripped it. So, I mean, it's not worthless, but because of that, it's obviously not going to be worth as much. We get inside. We've got the original owner's manual that came with it. We've got two controllers that are actually in pretty good shape. They're not real browned, and they're not torn up. So these are in pretty good shape. We've got the AC adapter, and we've got some audio video cables. So as far as the setup goes, we've got everything in this except for the light gun. The console itself, we'll take a look at it. So it's in actually really clean shape. It's just got dirt on it. So we'll go through and clean this up, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to, if this works really well, then we're just going to clean this, and then we're going to use our console and then put it with this package on eBay and sell it and keep this one for ourselves since it's in nicer shape, and go from there. We got $80 in this, and I wouldn't have paid quite that much if it was just to buy and resell, but the ideal here is, because this is nicer than ours, we're going to clean this up, keep it put ours with this bundle. If we can get the box fixed, it's going to be great without that tape, because then we'll definitely be able to get our money back or even make a little bit of money. If the box, if we're unable to do that, then we'll probably just sell it, the box, you know, as it is with the console, and see what we can get. The ideal would be that we can swap out this one, this NES with ours, and then sell one of them to get the $80 back, or even make a little profit. But I'm not really worried about making profit. I just wanted to keep this one because it is very nice. It's just a little bit dirty. So can we do it? Maybe. I don't know. My biggest concern with this whole project is the tape on the box itself, because it's been on there for God knows how many years, and the likelihood of me being able to get this off of here without damaging anything is not very high. But if it does get damaged, then it is what it is. But we're going to do a little experiment and see. So we'll walk you through all the steps. We're going to try to get this off. We're going to clean the console, and then we'll put everything on eBay, see how much we get, and we'll put the results at the end. So we'll see how well we do. And don't forget, whenever you're out yard selling, garage sales, storage auctions, you name it, always refer back to your BitHead 1000 Practical Guide to Garage Sales. He's got a lot of experience when it comes to this. He's got a lot of videos on YouTube. Definitely go to him and check out some of his yard sale flips and some of the advices that he gives in regards to these. Highly recommended. To start, we wanted to take apart the NES to make sure that inside it was as clean as the outside. We already had a good working NES, so we wanted to make sure that we were swapping one out that was as good or better condition than the one we had. We took the top off, and the ideal was to just do a general cleaning inside and then to scrub down the top of the console. So right now we're removing the black inserts that go on the top, front, and back of the console, as well as the door to put the cartridge in. Now we're just going to scrub down everything with Dawn dishwashing detergent to make sure we get all the grease and dirt off from the top part of the NES console. Then we wanted to polish the black inserts using our Novus fine scratch remover. We took our drill, our cordless drill, as well as a buffing pad, and just went over a few times each side of the black inserts to try to get it as polished as possible. These were in pretty good shape, but there were some scratches that were there just due to the age and handling of the console. We then finished it up with some Novus plastic clean and shine to give it a fine polish. Once that was done, we started reassembling our NES to make sure that everything would go together well as be as clean as possible. Now again, this was in very good condition, but we wanted to get everything together and make sure that it was in as good or better condition than the one we already have. We finished it up by using the Chemical Guys tire and trim gel. This is what we like to use on all of our consoles. You can also use it inside of a vehicle, but it really saturates the plastic without leaving a lot of oil residue and gives it a really nice, clean, polished look. The end result was a very nice looking NES that was not only clean and in good shape, but it ended up working really well after we tested it as well. Now our focus turns to the removal of the tape from the box. As you can see, we were using a heat gun and some small scissor pliers to try to pull off the tape. The heat gun, or at least the ideal of the heat gun, is to heat up the adhesive from below the tape so that it makes it easier for us to start pulling it off. Once we got the initial section off, we were able to continue pulling the tape off all around the box. This actually turned out really well for us, but it did leave behind some residue that you'll see in a moment. We ended up having to come back and try to clean up. Once we removed the biggest majority of the tape, we then set out to try to get rid of all the residue. To do this, we used a combination of alcohol and tape. So what we did was we would spray down a rag and start wiping off all the residue that we could with alcohol. Then we took our heat gun, heated up a little bit where the residue was to try to make it sticky again. And then we would go back over it with a paper towel and some alcohol to wipe it off. We then used tape and dabbed it onto the different sections of the residue that was left from the tape to pull it off. This was a very long process, but we were able to have some pretty good results. As you just seen, while we were using the tape, there was a small crack that we didn't see, and it ended up pulling up the outer part of the cardboard a little bit. This was unfortunate, but it is what it is, so we moved forward. The box ended up turning out really well. It wasn't in the greatest of condition in the first place, but it's much better now that the tape has been removed. Now that we've got everything clean, we're going to put everything on eBay and see how much we get out of it. Now it's time to see how we did. We ended up selling the Nintendo for $100 plus $35 for shipping and handling, bringing us to a total of $135. We originally had the Nintendo set at $150 or best offer on eBay, and the best offer that we received was $100. I felt that was fair considering the condition of everything, so we took it. We then shipped the Nintendo for $31.73 via UPS. After you subtract the shipping, we ended up with a total of $103.27 for the Nintendo. For the Super Mario Bros. And Tetris video games, unfortunately we were not able to sell them on eBay. We had them there for a few days with no bids, offers, or anything. So then we ended up taking them to a local retro video game store to see what we could get for a trade-in or for cash. They offered us $8 cash or $10 for a trade-in for something else, so we elected to take the $10 trade-in. So how did we do? We ended up selling the Nintendo for $135 on eBay. After paying shipping fees, we made $103.27. Then we traded in the games to a local retro game store and ended up getting $10 for them. That brings us to a total of $113.27. And then when you subtract the $80 that we had initially spent, brings us to a grand total profit of $33.27. I think we did very well on this. There was a lot of work that went into taking off the tape from the box and cleaning everything. We ended up coming up with a $33 profit and being able to upgrade our NES system for a nicer one. Until next time, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you soon.